What's up, guys? 10 months on testosterone. My changes have become a lot less pronounced, so I really don't find myself wanting to do these videos anymore because I really don't have a lot to talk about. I have been noticing my voice dropping a little bit more than it had been before, because it had calmed down quite a bit prior to the most recent spurt of cracking that I've been having. I hadn't been cracking at all, even when trying to get to a higher tone, but I'd probably be happy if it dropped further. I I don't want to end up like Chocolate Rain or something, but I don't mind the drop, the deepness or the grit that it has to it at this point because I mean my voice was kind of, and I just recently had discovered this on testosterone anyway, that I feel like my voice for the most part was a lot of my dysphoria that I experienced prior to T, and back then I thought maybe it was like my chest or something else, and it could have been like the lack of facial hair, which was ridiculous. I don't have it now, and I don't feel like I'm nearly as dysphoric as I was. Um, so I guess it is something that really has helped a lot, and I've had more like a I've been more confident lately, I guess, and it's been very nice. And like I said, I don't mind it at all. If it were to drop more, especially since at work where I'm still not out, which is it's kind of become a little bit of a game to me now because so many people know. Like one of my coworkers found me on Grinder because I'm on that thing. This is mainly as like entertainment. He found me on there and he messaged me and he's like, "Hey." Like the next morning, I saw him before I went in, and I was like, "Hey, I probably should tell you this." And I kind of just came out to him right there, and he was like, "Yeah, I kind of figured it, but nobody really says anything if they do figure it." And I feel like he was told because two of his good friends at work are they know, and I don't see why they wouldn't have if they were ever talking about me because one of them anyway would always use male pronouns for me, which is cool. But in a situation where you're not out, that can be something that is a little bit nerve wracking. But nobody ever would pay attention to her when she did it because she spoke with such an accent, and they thought she was just screwing up. But she knew. And she actually had done that even prior to me coming out, so that's something that was a little bit of maybe it may have been a little bit of an insult to someone else, but it was very nice for me to have that. But she recently quit, and I'm finding that most people that do I end up do end up quitting, and I kind of lose one and I take a step back from where I was. But it's what it is. I don't plan on being there much longer. But they have moved me on to a more like um, less vocal part of the job, to where I'm typing more and doing other things and up and about more. So that's cool. So it's not so much a strain on my voice anymore. But I do occasionally go on the phones, and more I find myself getting um, male pronouns. And when they ask me for my name again, I really don't know what to say because my legal name is something that is very feminine, and I don't know how I would go about even masculinizing that or even causing it to be androgynous at all. Like, you could shorten it, but that's still considered, a very female name. And I really am unlucky in that factor. But I if anything, it's taught me a lesson. Like, if I ever have children or ever um, adopt children or something like that, I will not be giving them any names that are very gendered. I will be giving androgynous names, and I will not sway from that position whatsoever. Because if I would have been named something like Kyle or Alex or something like that, um, it would have been a much easier time. Even something like Shannon would have been easier than what I was given. Um, so and I know my parents meant no offense by doing so, but they have caused me a little bit of a heartache by doing that. It's what it is. I've been with this name for 24 years now, so it's not something that I'm really sore about anymore. It's just what it is. Um, Other than that, 10 months. I recently did have a bad injection incident where my injection site actually got pretty infected, and that was this. I guess this is TMI, but whatever. It's useful to know if your injection site. It's normal for it to kind of be a little bit irritated, but if it gets to the point where it's painful and a little hot, please do yourself a favor and take yourself to a like minute clinic or a hospital and get some kind of antibiotic because it can clear it up much quicker than the alternative route, which would be to go to a hospital and have them cut it open, which thank God nobody had to do that for me because I cared for it soon enough, but it's very dangerous if you're self-injecting. So just be very careful and make sure you are properly sanitizing. Even like a tiny slip of not letting the alcohol dry soon enough can be something that can be serious. And if you don't take it seriously enough, you can lose, like say I inject into my thigh, you can end up losing your leg over that if you don't, if you don't take care of it. So it's very important to be careful, and I have recently learned that lesson. I actually skipped a couple weeks of my shots because I was like, oh, I'm so scared I'm gonna do it again, and I'm just like, now I'm fine, but prior to that, it was something that made me very nervous. But other than that, things have been good. My sexual orientation continues to like flip around and do this kind of nonsense, and I kind of at this point have decided not to take it as seriously as it wants to be taken. Whereas prior I was saying that I was gay. Now I'm not. I am still leaning more towards masculine people, but and people that were, I don't know how to put this without being like super offensive, but like cis men. Um, but now I'm leaning more towards where I am attracted to, other types of people and women, of course, of any type, and female males, and other trans people and bigender and agender and all that like, spectrum. So I am opening up more, but I'm still got more of a preference towards more masculinity than anything else. So I don't know where that happened, but prior to testosterone, I was attracted very much so to femininity, and that is not the case anymore whatsoever. So it's very very odd that that kind of made such a drastic switch for me, and it's been a little bit hard to kind of navigate, but I'm getting better at it, and I feel a little bit less helpless in the situation of like trying to talk to someone. And I don't know if that's because more time has passed and I've been able to pass more and pass better and not have to doubt it so much, or if I'm just, learning more of the social cues, which I think I am for sure, but I definitely feel like I am getting more confident as time has progressed. But also as time progresses, you do start to realize more and more of what else you need to do. And with that being said, of course the name change thing is crucial at this point. Like it needs to happen. It is something that does bother me a lot, and I really don't see it happening for the next couple of months, and it's something that I'm just like like I am like on the edge of my seat waiting for, and it just sucks that it has to wait. Other than that, top surgery is also something that needs to happen, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Like I don't see it happening at least for a couple of years, I would say. So what I mean, it is what it is, but it kind of just sucks that you have to wait for that kind of thing. Um, and should I end up moving, which I do plan on moving eventually, say if I go to, I'd love to move to Colorado for obvious reasons. The healthcare there is so much better. It's more of a free environment, and of course for certain things that are legal there. And I've also considered DC because my sister is up there, and they do have a lot of protections for our trans people up there. And the weather and the environment there is extremely nice. At least in Virginia, I haven't been to DC in years, long, long time. So I can't really say for sure about that, but I know Virginia is so nice, and I would not mind living there at all. So I think that eventually I will probably end up just finding a way to get the top surgery covered by my insurance, but at this present time, it doesn't bother me as much as it could, I guess. Whereas like my name is definitely taking precedent over anything else, and any other of my like dysphoria issues have gone to the back seat when it comes to my name. So it kind of just it sucks because that's not something that you can mask or hide, especially if somebody is asking for your identification, which is it just sucks. And I get more and more I get looked at and questioned about my ID, and I don't ever want to have to disclose because safety is something that is very important to me, especially for myself and for the people I'm with in public, because I know if somebody was to step to me, my friends, of course, would step in, or if they needed to. But I really don't think they would need to. But at the same time, you don't want to take that chance because it shouldn't have to happen, but it does. It's sad, but I just wish name changes in Florida, or at least in fucking Seminole County, were not $450. So eventually, but not anytime soon, or soon enough, I should say. Other than that, that's about it. I guess that's pretty much all I've needed to talk about. But other than that, I'm just gonna cut this off, and I will see y'all at 11 months.